aren't they talking about a very Hinduized version of Islam? Isn't that what they're talking about?
Personally, I'm a person who doesn't criticize other people. That's my way. To praise a person is easy. I avoid criticizing anyone. I avoid criticizing even those who are against me, because I believe in the philosophy. When someone throws stones at you, raise yourself so high so that the stone doesn't hit you. Yes, as a movement per government, that's a different thing. So I personally avoid speaking against group, because that doesn't give a good flavor.
But these people succeeded in getting you banned, even from Uttar Pradesh. They succeeded in
there was no ban on me.
Succeeded in getting your meeting prohibited in Allahabad, isn't that
there
right?
never was a ban in UK.
Isn't it true? Are you allowed to go and hold a meeting in UP right
Of course I can go. I've got invitation from UP, but I'm busy. In UP, the people who had taken the permission for that meeting, the permission was cancelled. There was no letter sent to me. No one told me don't come to UP. What it was that the organizers, their permission was taken away, which can happen very often anyway. So there's no rule that I cannot go to UP. I have got invitations from UP to Lucknow. You come, we'll have a great gathering, but I'm busy. It's not easy to get you overnight.
No, that could have been because of a law and order.
Except when you call me, it's different.
Right. That could have been because of a law and order problem. That could have been because of some other problem, some administrative problem.
There are many politicians who say that you cannot go to this place for these 2 number of days.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean a ban is imposed on them.
Right. So, all right. So that's a clarification. That's a clarification.
I've not been banned anyway.
That information was carried out here on this show. He said that there's a ban on Dr. Zakir Naik in Uttar Pradesh. Now that's a clarification. By the way, when we inquired from the UP administration, they also said that they are not aware of any such ban. ये हम आपको बता दें जब उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार से हम लोगों ने ये इंक्वायरी करी तो उन्होंने भी कहा कि कोई ban, I'm reasonably certain it will be lifted. I don't think that is going to be.
Hopefully.
I don't think that's going to be on. Anyway, it's not just my personal feeling. We're getting a lot of people calling in from the UK as well, and they also say that they've made a mistake.
That's right.
Because obviously they've been wrongly briefed. I mean, it's a new government, as you said. David Cameron has just taken over as Prime Minister, so possibly they, I don't think there will be a problem there. तो कहने का मतलब ये हुआ कि आपकी जो भी अल्फाज हैं आपके जो अगर कोई उसको लैच ऑन कर ले और किसी भी चीज को कोई नेगेटिव कॉनोटेशन दे दे तो वो कर सकता है. That's what is happening.
किसके आपके साथ भी कर सकता है, मेरे साथ भी कर सकता है,
जी.
किसके साथ भी कर सकता है.
Right. So that's what the thing is. All right. Now let's go back to yourself. When did you start doing this? When was what was the first meeting that you addressed? Because you could not have
Talks.
In terms of your talks, in terms of your comparative religion lectures.
Actually,
because they're brilliant, very frankly speaking. Because I'm fascinated by the way you can pick up the Bhavishya Puran from here, the Chandogya Upanishad from there, talk about the Yajurved, the Samved, the Rigved, the Atharva Ved, and then compare it to what is there in the Holy Quran. I mean, that's amazing, really, truly amazing. So, when did you start that?
As you may be aware that by education qualification, Christian Bible. So when he came to Bombay, I was inspired by him, and because of being inspired by him,
Sheikh Ahmed Deedat of
Sheikh Ahmed of South Africa. Originally born in India, in Gujarat, in Tatkeshwar. Then later on went to South Africa, spent his life. And the reason I chose to be a medical doctor because I felt it was the best profession and it is a good profession. Not that is bad. But when I treated the patient, when I treated his physical illness, I got immense pleasure. But when I treated a person spiritually, his soul, I found multiple times more pleasure. That is the time I decided slowly I shifted. And I told my parents that, okay, now I want to give at least 2 hours a day for talking about peace. My parents said, no problem. My father is a doctor, as you are aware. My brother is a doctor. Then I said, I want 50% medicine, 50% talking about peace. They said, no problem. Then I said, 2 hours medicine, balanced peace. They said, no problem. Then I said, full-time peace. They said, no problem.
So when did you, which was your first meeting?
First lecture that I gave was in the small office, in a gathering of maybe about 40, 50 people. That was in 1992. That is the Quran, God's word.
In Mumbai?
In Mumbai.
Right.
That was in Mumbai, the first talk, and it went on for more than 3 hours. I was shocked. I thought, I don't know how much time it takes. So I prepared from memory, thinking it would be a 1 hour speech. It turned out to be a 3 hour speech. That was the first talk. And then in public, it was in 1993, then 1994. And the first talk I gave abroad was in 1996.
In 1993, where was the first public meeting?
Public meeting, it was in Indian Merchants Chamber. Churchgate.
Indian Merchant Chamber at Churchgate.
In Churchgate, and the talk was Quran and modern science.
All right, Quran and modern science.
That was Women's Rights in Islam at YB Chaman Hall in 1994.
And then in 1996 you went abroad for the first time.
In between there were some other talks. So 1995 is the Quran God's Word. So first there were few hundred, then became few thousand. And I gave the talk in Billa Matushri. In 1995 is the Quran God's Word. There were a few thousand people. Though the capacity is only 1200. But there were a few thousand people who turned up and there was a big chaos there.
And there usually is at your talks. There usually is where you work and start. All right, now, so that's how you started off.
That's right.
Then you used to appear on various television channels and other things, and then you started your own TV channel called Peace TV. So how is Peace TV doing now?
As far as Peace TV is concerned, as you may be aware, it was first started in January 2006. That's the Peace TV main channel, which had about 75% English, 25% Urdu, Hindi mixed.
Gee.
And it kept on spreading. It was on one satellite, then two, then three, then four, then five, six. It was throughout the world. In the span of 1.5 years after it started, it was spread throughout the world. Anyone puts a dish, any part of the world, whether it be America, Europe, any part of the world, you could see it. In 2008, in June, one more channel was launched, Peace TV Urdu.
Peace TV.
So from the main channel, all the Urdu Hindi programs were removed. It became a 100% English channel, and then we had a new channel, Peace TV Urdu, last year. And inshallah, we have hopes in December to launch a third channel, Peace TV Bangla.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. All right, now let's come back to your case. That's how the UK case is. They do.
This is a new government, so I feel they took a decision in haste. As you know, I've been to UK several times, and they talk about freedom of expression. I've never had any problem. In fact, the last visit, I was standing in the queue in the Heathrow airport, right at the end of the queue. Oh, officer called me. I said, okay, fine. Do you want to question me? He said, Dr. Naik, you know, we see you on the TV, and they got me in the front. Imagine. So there are many people in the immigration who know me. So this, I believe, because it's a new government, conservative government, as you may be aware, initially was in the opposition.
Yes.
Used to always tell the government in power that because of you, you're allowing people to speak and you get them inside. That is the reason all this terrorism is there. Now, when they came to power, it was, as you said, many groups are working against me. There was an article that came in Sunday Times on 30th of May,
Yes.
2010. The person who article was David, and he wrote this, that a preacher of hate is let into Britain, saying how come this new government, conservative government, is allowing people to preach such hate, etc. So there was a pressure on the new government that now you're in power, now you have to ban Dr. Zakir Naik. You have to exclude him from the country. And they gave reasons and they quoted me out of context, whichever. So that's how I feel it was more of a political decision rather than a legal decision. Because no legal person in his sound mind will ever take such a decision. So that is the reason, though in the newspapers, the quotation was only half a sentence, saying Dr. Zakir Naik